How do you think the world changes most as humans become more virtual?
Well, I think let's start with humans, right? So the citizen of the future, is increasingly splitting their time between, physical and digital domains. They're proliferating versions of themselves. So Ian Bremmer, has multiple email accounts, multiple social networking profiles, multiple phone numbers, and
And a puppet.
and a puppet. You basically have a virtual entourage of yourself walking around, and that virtual entourage has multiple personalities. So you're basically able to punch way above your weight as a physical citizen, by sort of proliferating yourself. So the global demographics change a lot in that sense. And a country like Iran that's 80 million people online looks more like a billion people. So that creates a sort of an interesting tension for governments that run the risk of miscalculating by overreacting or underreacting to things that they see online. A second thing is the first attack on any society is going to be an attack on the conversation. And so what we see playing out on the conversation, whether it's just people being mean or it takes a political, ethnic, or sectarian tone, is going to be the first indicator of what happens, of what might spill into the street. Now, on the one hand, it's good that there's something that happens before it goes into the street, and we're not just going from zero to machetes in the street. The bad news is the barriers of entry to virtually venting or being obnoxious are much lower, so it could also accelerate it. The good news is anything that's written down can be measured, and this is one area where machine learning can be quite helpful. For instance, you can, right here at Jigsaw, we've trained machine learning models to measure toxicity in language on a score of 0 to 100. So we can feed any comments or language to these models and tell you how likely that comment is to be perceived as toxic, and return that score to whoever is moderating the platform. So there are some interesting technical things that can be done to try to restore civility to the internet.